photosynthesis. So before we read the book, I'd like to know what you already know about I don't know if you've learned about photosynthesis yet, but I'd like you.
They know a ton.
Do they?
Because we just are finishing up that unit right now.
That works out perfect then. All right. Well, then I would like you. Have you ever done a turn and talk before? You're just gonna. This actually works out perfect. You're gonna turn or look at the person across from you, and you're gonna discuss what you already know about photosynthesis or the sun. And we'll go ahead and discuss, and then we'll regroup, and I'll ask a few people to share. All right, you guys ready to regroup? Can I have two people who want to share what they already know about photosynthesis or the sun? Go ahead.
Photosynthesis starts and ends in leaves.
One more person want to share something? Go ahead, Mia.
That the roots of a flower or anything suck out the nutrients from the soil.
Very good. How about one more person? Go ahead, because you guys have someone.
The sun brings light onto Earth, so then it helps us see, and the sun will be able to see.
Perfect. Very good. Okay, so before we begin reading, I'd like to tell you something that good writers do, which you might have even done this in class already, but something that good writers do when they're writing a paper or a story is sometimes they will choose a different perspective to write from. For example, in this book, the author chooses to write from the perspective of the sun. So while we listen to this, while I read this book, I want you guys to pay close attention to how the reader uses the sun to tell the story and how it helps tell the story in an exciting way. The title of this book is Living Sunlight, How Plants Bring the Earth to Life. And when I first heard this title, I'm thinking to myself, this kind of seems like a silly title to me because is the sun a living thing? Can the sun talk? Can the sun breathe? No, the sun is an object in our sky. So I think that the reason the author chose to use this is to help us realize that the sun is the one that's telling us the story. And then the author of this is Molly Pang, and the illustrator is Penny Chisholm. And something that I noticed on our title is that, on our cover is that this is a picture of the earth, and on the earth we see all kinds of living things. We see the tree, the water, the animals. We see a human in here. You guys see all, I know you guys are still a little far away. But you see how detailed this is? And I like how the illustrator chose to use outlines of the color to make everything look bright and vibrant. She used yellow around every different object that she drew. Alright, so let's go ahead and start with our story. Living Sunlight. Listen to me. Do this one thing. Lay your hand over your heart and feel. Feel your heart pump and pump and pump. Feel how warm you are. That is my light, alive inside of you. So a clue that the sun might be the narrator is right here in the text. In the beginning, it starts off saying, listen to me. So you know whoever's telling the story is obviously the narrator. And down here it says, feel how warm you are. That is my light alive inside of you. And we know that the sun makes us warm, not cold. So that's one clue that this is the sun talking. I am your sun, your golden star, I burn. My light energy explodes in all directions. Most fades into endless space. But some tiny, tiny part of my light falls on your small planet Earth. Okay? So on this page, I see that the author has written right here on the top, I am your sun, your golden star, I burn. And this is the way that the author chose to tell us directly that this is the sun talking to us. But I like how the author also used characteristics of a sun in here to make it a little bit more personable. I warm your land and seas, melt your glaciers, create your winds. I do all this, but I do far, far more. I want you guys to turn and talk in a second, and I'd like you to discuss what the author does here or so far in this book for us to understand that it is being written from the perspective of the sun. So go ahead and turn and talk, and then I'll call in order.
It says that I
Are you guys ready to regroup? Can I have 2 volunteers? James?
It says like I a lot.
Uh-huh.
So like first person.
Very good. Carter?
That's what I was.
Okay. Alex?
Well, it says no idea how to use sun.
Uh-huh. And one more. How about you?
And he says that he says that the sun is warm and keeps you warm.
So it's using first person to tell you the story. Very good. All right, let's move on. My light becomes the energy for all life on Earth. All living things, including you, pulse with my light and keep it circling round and round on the Earth. How do living things do this? What is your secret? Wow, that's really neat. Since the author is writing from the sun's perspective, the author can have the sun keep a secret from us to keep us enticed so that we can want to know what's going to happen in the story. That's a really great writing technique to use. Your secret starts in plants, green plants. Plants suck up water, H2O, from the earth. In daylight, green plants catch my energy with their chlorophyll. Then, zap. Plants use my energy to break apart the water, break the H2O into H and O2, hydrogen and oxygen. But as plants break apart the water, they trap my energy as little packets. Meanwhile, plants are breathing. Yes, plants breathe. They breathe out the oxygen they broke off from the water and breathe in carbon dioxide, CO2, from the air. Now, plants use the packets of my energy and the carbon dioxide from the air to build chunka, 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 sugar. And with this sugar, plants build all their parts, all the leaves and stems and juices, all the seeds and fruit and flowers of all the plants on earth are built with sugar, made from air and water using my light energy. This is photosynthesis, making life with sunlight my light. This is my gift of energy to you. Now, I know you already have some background knowledge and you just did a unit on photosynthesis. So would somebody like to give us a little bit of a clearer or shorter definition or explanation of how photosynthesis works? Mia?
First the plant starts out as a seed in the ground, but then it starts growing roots, and then when the roots suck up the nutrients and the water from the soil, it starts to pop up, and then when it gets to the leaf, it starts to breathe in the carbon dioxide that atoms and us give off.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the water and the carbon dioxide join, it makes the sugar, and then the sugar and then the water particles can make oxygen.
Very good. Does anybody have anything else they want to add, or do you think she did a pretty good job with that? I think so too. She did a good job explaining that. All right. But wait, you are not green. You have no leaves, no chlorophyll. You cannot catch my light, and neither can your parents, or friends, or teachers, or any other reptile, insect, fish, bird, or mammal in the whole wide world. How do you get my energy? Do you know?